gonna shape it up either. Leave it the way it is. That's just the way it is. I feel like I went back in time about 10 years without my beard, but it's all good. I get to document how fast my beard grows back in with proper hair care routine that I normally do. Then I got my 100% Batana oil. I bought this from Etsy. It's much cheaper than what you find on Amazon and get more bang for your buck. And just massage it into my hands. It's great for your skin in general, but really great for the hair follicles. And then I kind of massage it into my face and make sure I get all underneath my chin and my neck. Could even get your eyebrows if you want. Brush in the direction that you want your beard to flow. And I do this every morning and nighttime before I go to bed. But we're gonna talk more about hair care routine more in depth on another video. Peace, you're now rocking with B from Be Thyself. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel, and if you're new, thank you for tuning in. So my goal was to fast for 40 days of spring water and herbs only. I put my beard on the line. As you can see, I lost that bet. So what I did break my fast on was a Keith mango. What's this right here? When these get real ripe, the Keith mangoes are so good. And I felt it was perfect to break my fast with. If I'm gonna break my fast, I wanted to do it smart. Stuck with smoothies, mangoes, berries, those things that were easy to break down and digest. I started my fast on October 1st and then I ended my fast on October 31st. So that's 31 days on spring water and herbs only. And that's the longest I've gone on that type of fast before. That's one of my most extreme fasts that I've ever done. I started my fast weighing at 143 pounds. I lost 20 pounds throughout the duration of my fast. So you could say my equilibrium was around 120 to 123 pounds. That's the weight that I kind of stayed at consistently. If you followed me on my Instagram, I kind of shared the stories where I was weighing myself. Depending on how much I drank, how much urination I did throughout the day, it will waver between the 120, 123. I was being very conservative of my energy, so I did not exercise at all during this fast, unless you count stretching. Stretching was something I put a great focus on once I've gotten past 10 days. During my fast, my body shared a lot of areas that needed work, that had a lot of tension, which was my upper back. So I did stretching routines that kind of focused on the release of that tension. I've been doing the stretching routines at least 3 times within the week, which has helped significantly. You know me, I'm somebody who always did a lot of exercise routines with push-ups, sit-ups. You know, I'm always constantly at my desk, at the computer, and I've never done stretching routines like that, which is horrible, which probably explains why I'm so stiff, don't have a dancing bone in my body, but it's all good. I still got some rhythm, but kind of like a robot with it, you know, but I'm clearing that up. I'm working on my flexibility now, and you know, the great thing is that when you fast, your body kind of exposes what your body needs, and it was really showing how much tension I had back there, but that let me know that I have to continue on with the stretching routines more so than the exercise. And then comes the exercise. I'll slowly get back into that as well. The herbs that I've used were elderberry, bilberry, and ginger. One of my favorite combinations, mostly for eyesight. Another combination was burdock, yellow dock, and sarsaparilla root, high in iron, and helps cleanse the blood, which I find, you know, blood cleanse is very important for any type of fast that I perform. I also enjoyed the combination of soursop leaves and Ceylon cinnamon sticks, but I wasn't really going for the benefits with that pairing. It was more so the flavor profile that I truly enjoy. And Ceylon cinnamon had brought out a certain sweetness to it naturally. Additional herbs that I used were milk thistle and stinging nettle for no particular reason. It's just that I had them in my cupboard, and why not? Alongside of the herbs, I wanted to give spices a fair shot as well. Trying to make maybe a fire broth using oregano, cayenne, dried onion, dose. And the point of dose was I wanted to get that salt-like taste without the salt. Also added in dill weed and basil. Keeping it real, I didn't enjoy that pairing at all. I feel like the dose wasn't making a good replacement for sea salt, but that could be maybe that I used a greater water ratio to the spices than I should have. I don't know. I'll probably have to go back to the drawing board with that one, but I still drank it. So how do I feel? I'm proud of myself. But part of me wishes that I pushed further for the 9 days just to get the 40 out the way. Why I broke my fast early is difficult to explain, because it's not because I was hungry. It was more so because the lack of energy that I was beginning to feel for what I had planned for my day. While I did get more energy throughout my fast, it's like the energy was limited and I was always exceeding that limit. What do I mean by that? Well, my body has gotten used to a schedule or a routine that I've set throughout this fast. Work from 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and my body was aware of that. The energy was preserved and used for that time period. However, outside of that range, I started doing extra things, creating content, spending time with my daughter, hanging out with my wife. We did a corn maze. You're walking around this corn maze trying to figure out how to exit. I was also doing my hustle and grind activities, creating tamarind juice and delivering it to customers, or I do a little bit of Grubhub and DoorDash on the side just for some extra money. This would carry my day out sometimes 4 to 9 p.m. And it's just energy that my body wasn't prepared for. So there were plenty of times where I was pushing my body too far, but it just had to get done. That was part of the reason, but that alone was not why I broke my fast. I learned when you're putting in work, you're on your day-to-day grind. You're an active husband, you're an active father. Those things make it very challenging. I believe it all comes down to communication, which is something that I always do. Let them know, I'm not going to be as active as I normally am just because I'll be going through the motions of my fast, and it is what it is. And I think that kind of got to me mentally, because as I've pushed further into my fast, I began to feel kind of like a deadbeat dad. I wasn't able to play with my daughter as much. I wasn't really connected emotionally with my family, just because I was so focused on, completing the fast successfully. And, sometimes you have to exclude yourself from family, from friends. And, that can kind of get to you mentally. On top of that, I feel I still have to learn how much I should be drinking based on the level of activity that I'm committing to within the day. You see, when I was drinking nothing but water and herbs, I was losing minerals through urination. When fiber is not included in the regimen, what you consume will pass through your body at a far quicker rate. The more you urinate, the more minerals you're releasing, and that also can depreciate your energy at a time. For that reason alone is why many who do fast also practice urine therapy. And that's something that I'm still researching myself. I believe I have to practice on dry fasting, knowing when to dry fast and for how long. How do I feel? I feel amazing. My bones feel restored. And the body odor is different. Not that I stink before, but it's just when you fast and you're not eating anything, the body odor, it's like non-existent. It just hits different. My goal was to improve my eyesight, and I feel I have achieved that. I feel I can actually see signs at a further distance or read at a further distance. My discipline is strengthened. I think I know how to approach it next time. It's great when you announce that you're fasting, because people will hold you accountable for the most part. They'll feed off that energy and maybe give you something back in return to inspire you. But next time I try to go for 40 days, I'm not going to make an announcement. I'm just going to go for it and see how I do without any accountability, without any eyes on me. When people don't know And I want to see how great my power is then. It's just going to be a silent fast. The challenge with that is when you're interacting with people day to day and they don't even know that you're fasting, I think that'll really put my discipline to the test. And I'm excited for that for the next time. Maybe it's better when that pressure is removed and nobody's really focusing on that. You're not focusing so much on your fast. I think that's what another issue was for me, is that there were times where I got lost in why I was doing it because I was so focused on how many days were left. And it started to torture me mentally. When you get into that phase, you kind of regret your fast in a sense. It's hard to explain. I wasn't excited or motivated to continue on with my fast. No matter how many resources that I used, it just wasn't getting better for me. And that's where I knew, hey man, you gotta listen to your body and throw in a towel. You've achieved something great. There's no need to keep it going. For what? For what at this point? And I just got tired of not being as active within the household because of my fast. It just felt like I was dragging it on when I've already completed a goal. But for sure, I'll be back at it. But you know, it's gonna be just to myself. Moving forward, I think I will make a 72-hour water and herb fast a thing. Just weekly. Every week I'll do 72 hours water and herbs. That's just gonna be my thing. That's my thoughts on my journey to 40 days. As you can see, I'm a man of my word. I'm just happy I didn't put my locks on the line. That would have been scary. I would have had to complete the 40 days then. December is approaching. I believe that'll be winter solstice, and that'll be my next fast. Definitely not 40 days. I'm thinking more of 7 days. So that's all we have for today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like. If you didn't, feel free to hit the unlike. It is what it is. If you have any questions, something that I haven't answered within this video, let me know in the comments section. Until next time, 2098. Badaye.
And constantly finding ways to level up my mind state. Ain't no justice for us, you could peep it in the crime rate. I left behind all those trying to set me up like a blind date. That duo sizzle just like a hot plate.